think there might be a little bit of a delay. I'm going to refresh this. Okay, cool. Wow, that's a little bit, oh, okay, there we go. Needed to see why my stream was so shaky. Wow, that's a little... Alright, we're going good over here. Alright, everything seems to be fine, so I'm gonna keep that going. Cool. Put that down. Boom, boom. Alright. So I have the chats available. Hey, Bleo! So, yeah, just let me know how it's looking over on YouTube right now. I'm doing pretty good, just making sure I got everything. I'm gonna need to push my chair in a bit more, because the stream technically doesn't start until 2:15, but I thought, hey, make sure I got everything up and running smoothly, get it all niced up, you know. And everyone can hear me clearly? With conviction! Alright. God damn. Ugh. Yeah, braces. They are different, to say the least, so... Alright, so we got just a few minutes to hang out. But yeah, I mean, this is an AMA, so, I know, Leo, you haven't been asking too many questions, but we got Brightwater in here now, so he can ask me some stuff. I got a stack of books here that I need to start actively going through and referencing, but that's not what we're doing today. We're getting through the drawing tutorials over here, because got quite a few in this course here, I believe. Ah, yes, so there is 3 in this section. We got 12 sections. We're on section 3. Can probably get through all 3 of these in this first section here today. So I'm looking at about sometime next week I could switch over to the Proco ones if we do well with this. Oh, and a lot of these seem to be quick lectures anyway. But hey, it's a course that I can keep taking over and over and over again to always just reset my skills, so we shall see. I'm probably gonna want to get over here, get that all set. I have been amazing, Brightwater. I also have an image that I need to put together because a very special thing happened, and I want to make an image about it, so I might see about getting to that today, because I think that's on my list of stuff to do. Oh god, I don't even remember all the stuff that I have to do on my to-do list, but we'll figure that out. Yeah! Plus, might just make some fun little art for whatever, but depends on how far we get. I do have to get so today we've got, oh god, not white. Today we got step 1, which is the tutorials. Step 2, have to do the homework from the tutorials, and then if I decide to stream it, I actually have a walk cycle I need to animate, so that might be fun. Also, I think today is going to be a very simple and straightforward one. I think it's trying to draw with perspective, which perspective is perspective, but knowing how to utilize it properly is key. So, yeah, we'll figure that out. I think I'm going to get myself some water, so I will BRB. Actually, there's a way that I can announce my stream if I recall.
All over wetness and odor protection with an irresistible scent.
Want some more wisdom? Because I got a whole lot to give.
Gold Bond presents even more shack wisdom.
Tis better to be calm, cool, and collected. Wet is taken and rejected.
Gold Bond Men's Powder Spray controls odor and absorbs wetness with an irresistible scent. Stay cool with Gold Bond.
If you want to experience moments of joy, excitement, and satisfaction, visit the Honda Summer Spectacular, where well-qualified buyers can get 1.9% APR in 2018 Honda CR-V LX, part of KBB.com's 2018 Best Overall Brand. You've just entered car buying bliss.
Visit one of your Rochester area Honda dealers. Scarborough,
So
Ralph, or
that
Ontario
just got
Honda
announced.
today.
And we'll see how this goes. BRB.
Times begin with the cool, refreshing taste of Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Twisted Tea tastes like real iced tea because it's brewed with real iced tea. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Unwind with a twist. Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio.
Okay. Got my water jug, it'll sit over there. I guess people want to see a link. I mean, how exactly... Hey, do either of you know how to link to the YouTube, or I can just link to the Picardo, I guess. There's gotta be a way. I don't need a custom URL, I just need a... that's a server URL. Oh. I think maybe it's this. Bleo, I'm gonna send you a message on Telegram, just verify that this links to the stream. Okay. And that goes... Bleo. Okay, cool. Alright, let me do that then, because people are asking for it. Bow. Alright. Yep, got it. Alright, so I can close that up, get that set up, so that in just 1 second, I'll be able to get that going now. I should probably throw this in places. Okay, so let's close that up. close enough. Alright, let's get this going, so I'm gonna... shut that off. Switch this over.
In this lecture, we're going to go ahead and talk about lines. Okay, lines are the first fundamental of drawing. It's the most important part that you need to understand next to shape. But you can't create shapes unless you understand how to make lines. So the first thing to understand about lines is there's obviously all different types of lines, okay? So we have straight lines, we have curved lines, we have S lines, we have swirly lines, we have random organic squiggly lines. We have all different types of lines, okay? We have lightning bolt lines. They're all different types of lines. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and practice some lines. Just draw all the different types of lines that you can think of, okay? And there's different things that you can do to make your lines look different. So first off, you can draw a dark line by pushing really hard with your pencil, or you can draw a light line by drawing softly, or you can draw one in between, like so. You can also create very thick lines by drawing lots of lines together, or you can draw with the edge of your pencil, like so. And you can also combine lines. So I can draw a line like that, and then I can draw another one like that connects like so, and then that creates a shape. So I want you to play around with this and try to create as many lines as possible and as many variations of those lines as you can think of. The next thing we're going to go over is contour lines. So what is a contour line? Well, a contour line are the lines that make up an object or an image. So for example, with an eye, let's redraw our eye really quick. So there's the basic shape. Now I know this isn't going to be perfect, but I'm creating contour lines right now. So the first phase of drawing a picture is creating the contour lines. You want to create those lines of where your object is and where it ends. So the top part of the eyelid is right there, the bottom eyelid is there, the colored part of the eye is right there, and my eyebrow shape is right there. So these are contoured lines. Let's have a look at another example. So let's say I were drawing this pen, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and set that right there. Well, where are my contour lines? Well, first off, we have this top part of the pen, the clicker, so we'll draw that. So those are the contour lines for that. Now, I know this isn't going to be perfect. I just want to quickly demonstrate for you what the contour lines are. The next part is going to be this rectangular part right there, so we'll draw that. The next part is going to be this middle piece, so we'll draw that. The next part is going to be this rubber finger holding part, so we'll draw that. It kind of has a little bit of a wiggle to it. And then the last part is going to be this right here, so we'll go ahead and draw that. And then if we wanted to, we could go ahead and add in this clip, so draw that. So these are the contouring lines of our pen. Now, the next thing to take into consideration when you're drawing line art is the line quality. Now, what the line quality is it's just the thinness or thickness of your line. This can be used to make your artwork look a lot more interesting, especially if it's more of a graphic design type of piece of artwork. And if you're creating more realistic type of artwork, it can be used to create more of a realistic look because it'll create more of an illusion of shadow. So for example, on our eye, we could change the line quality of our eye from being very thin like it is now to being very thick. So if I add in a thicker line up here at the top, you'll see that changes that line quality and it differentiates it from all the other lines. And what we can do is we can even go ahead and add in there sort of an animator type eyelash, like so. And now we have that nice line quality in there. And the reason why it looks so nice is because now there's contrast, not just in values, but there's contrast in the line quality. This is one of the biggest things when it comes to creating good looking artwork is you want to have contrast in everything, in your values, in your colors, in your line quality, in your textures. If there's no value, your artwork is not going to look good. So make sure you have different types of line quality in your artwork, and that's going to create that contrast for you. Now, let's go ahead and look at our pen and see where we could add line quality. So let's say our pen is more of a graphic type of piece of artwork and it's not going to look so realistic. we can still add line quality in there to make it look a lot more interesting. So for example, on this curve, we can make the curve a lot fatter, and then as it gets to this part, it can get a lot thinner. Same with over here. And then we can also do the same over here, so maybe we add a dark edge along that edge,
so
and
it doesn't
add a
matter
dark edge along that edge, but we leave that
shape of it, as long as you
thinner,
put some contrast to it,
and we
will
can add
improve
this
the
edge
look
to be a
of
little bit darker. We can add
what
a
you're
darker
drawing.
edge on this curve, and same with this curve.
Hey, Lexi!
And then we can do the same thing on this top part.
So, we're watching
So this
the
is just
tutorial
creating
right
different
now,
types
just so
of line quality, okay? So like I said, this
So
is
this
very
is the
important. Pay
section.
attention to your line quality and make sure that it has a lot of variety.
This is the section that's all about lines and how to use them to make things better.
That way you're creating that contrast in your line quality. Next, we're going to go ahead and practice drawing contour lines just by studying them. So I have my boot right here, and it doesn't really fit into the whole shot, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and set that over here, and I'm just going to look at my boot the whole time while I'm drawing the contour lines. So remember, the contour lines are just the outside lines that make up shapes. So I'm just going to look at my boot, and I'm not even going to look at what I'm doing here, and so it's going to look very sloppy. But the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm trying to learn how to study an image and only pay attention to that. If you can study an image and then copy it, that's what's going to allow you to be a great artist. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm first going to start with this bottom area, and like I said, I'm not looking at my drawing at all. I'm only looking at the boot, and this is going to allow me to really study those contour lines, but it's also probably going to make my drawing look pretty sloppy since I can't see what I'm doing, but I'm just trying to create those contour lines. And even better practice is to do it in one continuous line without changing at all. So I won't lift my pencil up at all. Alright, so there we kind of have a boot. Now, I wasn't looking at all. This is just because I've been studying contour lines for a really long time, and so I can really draw something that resembles a boot, and I understand where my hand is about on the paper. So you really want to practice this a lot. Alright, that brings us to the end of this lecture. So in this lecture, you learned about lines. You learned how there's all different types of lines, and you also practiced a bunch of different lines and created a whole bunch of your own. You also learned about line quality. You learned about how the thicker the line is and the thinner a line is, the more contrast you'll have in your image. And the more contrast you have, the better your artwork is going to look. You also learned about contouring lines, which are just the lines that make up shapes, the outside edges of those shapes. And then you learned how to draw a continuous contouring line drawing without even looking at your drawing. So your assignment for this lecture is to find an object in your house or apartment, and you're just going to do what I just did. You're going to draw a contouring line drawing that is continuous. So never lift up your pencil. Maybe you can lift it up once. It's not a big deal if you do, but just make sure that you don't look at what you're doing. You just want to make sure that you're studying your object, following the line of your object, and then drawing it. I recommend that you do this with a few different objects. Now, I know this can seem silly, but trust me, if you keep doing this over and over again, you're going to get really good at understanding shapes and lines in an object, and you're going to become very observant. By becoming observant, you're going to be able to become a great artist. Without observing from real life, you're never going to be able to create amazing artwork that looks realistic, or even caricatured type artwork that is from another world. You still need to understand the real world to create your own worlds. So, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next lecture.
Okay, so we have an assignment. So let's hop over and... Oh, that's... No, oh, that's what I wanted to hit. There we go. So, let's get our music up and running again. So I need to find an object that I can start working on here. So let me get my handy dandy pencil. Cool. Yeah, I don't need the stabilization, and just check. Cool. Alright, so let me find an object that would be interesting to draw, and here we go. Would you mind getting the light for me, hon? Thank you. Oh, excuse me. Thank you. Alright. So, contour line drawing. Basically, we need to be able to follow along something and get the shape of it without having to necessarily get any of the detailing in. Because if you can do that, you can break down the general idea of how things are shaped. So, right now I have an object here and I'm trying to figure out where I want to start. So, interesting. I actually get what it's trying to do, because as long as you can get the shape and idea down, you can understand that, oh hey, this actually would need to pull here, and this is going to help you get shape down on what you're trying to draw, because you're not necessarily trying to draw perfect realism anymore. That is not what an artist is trying to do in today's modern day. Because this actually flows a bit more like that. So there's plenty of different objects and things that we can try and draw, and we're just going to take the next hour just setting up different objects and drawing them. I'm a little bit too far over, so let me give myself a little bit better of a space to work with here so I don't lose it. So. Okay. So let me just keep trying different objects until I get it right. Love you, hon. Ooh, here's a good one. See you tonight, hon. So is anyone here drawing with me, or are they just chilling out and seeing what I'm doing? Well, it'd be good if I wasn't drawing in white. So what I'm learning is that I'm losing out on my ability to follow exactly with my pen with what my eyes are looking at, because I'm rushing. I'm rushing it. So what I'm going to do, slow down, figure out exactly how to follow. Okay. So I'm losing out on my ability to do that. So that's what we're going to try and fix. Oh, come on. Give it a moment, just saving. Because I get so fixated. But I will say that that is much better and more accurate than what I was initially looking at. So I see what it's trying to do, and this is something that I've struggled with the most when it comes to drawing, is just trying to get an understanding of what I'm looking at and how to I spend way too much time looking at my paper rather than looking at what it is. Oh wow, this actually turned out fairly good. It's short. I can see I scrunched it, but this line here actually turned out good. But this is, and the angle of this area is actually not that bad. So I'm going to try this object again. I'm going to shift it around, but I'm going to see if I can actually get my pen and mind to follow each other. So that's just that little lip right there. That's that. And then I've got a finger's length to go, so I'm just going to try. Wow, that actually worked. Okay, so, alright. Now let's see if I can get... See, I have the problem of my brain trying to move faster than my eyes, so it generally lies on what it's trying to show. Yeah, see, I shortened it up here again. So this I shortened up, but this actually I followed step by step, eye to hand, and it worked. So it's just trying to get my mind to shut off and just draw, and follow along with what I'm actually looking at. I gotta change up how I'm sitting, change up what I'm doing. Alright, so I have this nice follow along the divot, follow along the divot, follow along the divot. And oh shit, because it wasn't on the screen. Alright. I mean, okay, so this line up to here, I shouldn't be erasing. This line up to here is actually really good, so I'm going to return to this point here, and it juts. Right here, along there. And then it loops up. And then I'm going to lose out on this, loops up. Come back here, and I just gotta loop it back down. Trying to disconnect your brain from what you're looking at is harder than it looks. That's why I'm practicing. That's not bad. Getting better. And it's a fairly simple shape, but it's still a shape. Is anyone having trouble with the stream? Over there on the YouTubes? Just let me know if the video's giving you trouble. Alright. Centralize a nice piece of the paper right here. Yeesh. It's not even the right line. It's not even the right line. Okay. Wow, this is really hard. Just shutting my brain off and not... Oh my god. I need to be able to do this. I need to be able to do this. Shut up. Just do it. So...
If you want to experience moments of joy, excitement, and satisfaction, visit the Honda Summer Spectacular, where well-qualified buyers can get 1.9% APR for 2018 Honda CR-V elements. Part of KBB.com 2018 Best of All Brands. You've just entered Car Buying Bliss.
Visit
Oh,
one of your
what?
Rochester area
What
Honda
just-
dealers. Garber, Ide, Ralph, or Ontario?
I lost it somewhere. Okay, that was weird.
I'm Jim Cook, brewer of Sam Adams. You want a smooth, crisp beer that's not industrial, boring, and bland? Sam 76. It's tasty and crushable. In a can, because only a dumbass would try to crush a bottle.
This is the hardest thing I've done art-wise in a long time. I'm not even joking. Alright, let's try a different shape here. Got some keys. So I'm going to try and snap my keys off of my chain here. And let's get some keys down. Separate that out. A nice piece of white paper to have it sit on, so I've got some contrast. So I can see exactly what I'm looking at. Okay. And nobody seems to be talking to me. I'm gonna double check on the stream real quick. Make sure that it's going okay. Okay. Is there anybody? Nobody's watching. That might be why nobody's saying anything. Oh. Ethereal Retro, welcome. I didn't even notice. Oh, shoot. Welcome to the stream. I have no idea. Who could you be? Alright, so let me try and reorganize my keys again. Try to It's good to see you in stream, Retro. been a while. How are you and your boy toy doing? Wow, this is going a lot better. This is actually improving as I keep doing this. That's funny. Excuse me. Gonna glug down some water.
Delicious.
Hey, Bio. Hey, I mean, nothing wrong with taking some time to relax and unwind, so I get it. When you were in the garden with your mother, just taking care of your own garden or helping her with hers? Indeed you have, Bio. Yeah, I'm doing better and better as I draw more and more things. Sure. Ah, okay. How's your trucker boy? Ugh. I get what it's trying to do, and I understand this, so I'm going to actually move on to the next lecture with this. Because being able to follow with your eyes to something that's solid, like I can stylize it a bit to see exactly what I'm looking at. That's something that you always... So you're not... So you might have to head into work? You're saying? Or is that you might not get everything... Probably means I won't get this day's hours fully covered even though it was my workplace, which I did send... Huh, okay. I don't know what that means. If I really needed to draw something in a pinch, I can. Because that still follows along with everything shape-wise that's going on here. Alright. So yeah, I'm gonna step on to the next lecture and we're gonna see where that goes. So, let's turn the music down a bit. Start a new thing here. Don't want to open that. Want to go back here and then want to flip this active again. And
Alright, in this lecture, we're going to go over contouring lines even further. So, like I said, observation is one of the most important parts when it comes to drawing. You need to learn to observe things. Now, we're going to draw my boot from life, but the thing is that most people make a mistake on is they usually look at their drawing too much and they don't look at the object enough. You should be spending more time looking at the object than you do looking at your drawing. You need to be studying every tiny little thing. So, for example, let me grab my boot. You'll see right here, we have this corner and then we have this angle, right?
so, something that he's talking about is how often people will, when they're working on the sketch, focus too much on trying to make the image good. It's just the sketch. You look at the image when you're trying to ink it. You need to get the sketch down so you know exactly what you're looking at.
Right? Now, if I were drawing it, if I spent all my time looking at my drawing and 10% of the time looking at this angle, I'd probably get the incorrect angle. But by looking at this angle over and over again and then looking at my drawing for a little...
So this is not a perfect 90-degree angle. If you look at this, it's actually more like a 70-degree angle. But most people might accidentally see that, even though this has this nice curve to it. They'll put it in at exactly 90 when it's not supposed to be that way. So this is going to help try and allow you to see,
a while, and then looking back at this angle and studying it and trying to figure out what angle that is, I'll be able to draw that a lot better. Same with everything else on this boot. So you want to spend most of your time looking at the object and hardly any time looking at your artwork. Trust me, this sounds counterintuitive, but believe me, this will make your art look way better the more you start observing from real life. So let's go ahead and get started. So with this, I'm going to spend about 50% of my time looking at my drawing and about 50% of the time looking at my boot. So I'm going to go ahead and start drawing. Now, this is not going to be an endless line contouring drawing. I just want to actually draw the lines and the shapes that I see in my boot there. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to look at my boot and then I'm going to draw the line that I see. So that's the outer edge of my boot, on the sole of my boot at least. Here's the bottom part of my boot. There's that sole. It comes over
It's
like
not
so.
a 90.
So for example, I want to make sure that I get this shape correct, so I'm spending a lot of time looking at my boot, but then as I draw this line, I want to make sure that I'm looking at my drawing. That way I create the correct thickness of the sole of my boot. Otherwise, it's going to look off. And even right here, I started to look away, and that's why it's off. So I'm going to take my eraser, and I'm going to go ahead and erase that.
It's a sketch. Why are you worried about that?
And then I'm going to go ahead and sort of redraw that in, like so. And then I can finish the sole of my boot. Then I can work on the next shape that I see, which is this back part of the boot, which kind of curves up like so. And then I can start on this tip of the boot, or the toe of the boot. And then I also kind of see this shape right here. And I also see a shape like so. And that kind of curves around like that. And this back area is a little bit off, so I'm going to go ahead and erase that. Now I'm pressing a little bit hard with my pencils, so you want to make sure that if you want to erase, you're not pressing too hard. You can always go back and press harder. So I'm going to redraw this so it's not so curved. And then we'll have a little bit more area for the foot to fit into the boot. And then I'm also seeing sort of this shape right here for the bill of my boot. And that's basically the basic shape that I'm seeing for my boot. Now we can go a little bit further and add some more detail. So if I wanted to, I can add this back area and add more of a curve there. And then I can also add in this back piece. I can add more of this loop that I have on the back of my boot that you use for pulling your boots on. Let's see, we can add in each individual little hole. Now, the point of this is not to draw a perfect drawing, it's to try to get the lines as perfect as possible when it comes to resembling the lines on your actual object. So then we can even add in those shoelaces. So there's one shoelace coming.
So this whole lecture right here is about inferencing through a sketch, which I can already do. Okay.
Over like so. And there's another one coming over like so, and another one coming over like so. And while I'm drawing this, I'm really paying attention to everything about this. I'm paying attention to which shoelace goes over which shoelace. So like over here, for example, this shoelace is going to be underneath this shoelace. So I'm going to leave that area out, and then I can go ahead and add that one in, and I can add that one in. And I'm also paying attention to how these shoelaces are curving. So as we get up here to the top, we're going to get a little bit more of a curve, and I missed a shoelace hole, but we're going to get a little bit more of a curve. So it's going to curve more up like so. Same with this other side. So we're going to get more curve to our shoelace, just like so. And then we can also go ahead and add in those stitches that we see. And I'm making sure that I have the same exact curve that my shoe has. And then I can even go a little bit further and add some of the wrinkling that I see on this top area of the boot. And so I'm kind of seeing a wrinkle like so. Now, even though in real life these lines don't appear, it's good for you to draw them anyways. That way you start to get familiar with observing objects. That brings us to the end of this lecture. So in this lecture, we learned how to draw contouring lines, and we also learned that we need to spend most of our time observing the object that we're trying to draw. Now, eventually you're going to be drawing out of your head, but until you understand how real life works and how real objects and real light works, you're not going to be able to draw out of your head. So you need to make sure that you're studying from life objects, and you need to learn how to observe those in great detail. So spend most of your time observing those objects and spend less time actually looking at your drawing. Thanks for watching this lecture, and I really look forward to seeing you in the next one.
The major point that needs to be made with this whole thing is when you're drawing from an object or getting reference, yeah, he did, is to make sure that only 15% of the time, and this is something that I did learn but I hardly practice anymore, is spent looking at the drawing, and the remaining 85% of the time is looking at the object. because that really will let you know what you're looking at, how it's supposed to look, and what you need to do to get it to look accurately for what you're trying to depict. Because even so, as you're drawing something, there's small little variances on things that you need to portray. So I'm going to continue to use this pill bottle that I have here, but I'm going to take just a moment and hop into the bathroom because it's been an hour that I've been streaming here so far, so I'm going to switch that over here. I'm also going to grab myself just a quick little snack. Alright, I am back, and also sort of just realized that, hey, I didn't have any lunch, and it's already 3 in the afternoon, so I just grabbed a little bit more than just a little snack. But yeah, anyone generally have any questions for me? Because I think what we're going to be doing here is a very detailed contour drawing, just to get everything where it needs to be. Like, I'm going to be spending an hour really hardcore drawing this pill bottle and getting like the shadow on it and everything. Yeah, go eat. I mean, I'm kind of eating too. Speaking of which. There we go. Because what this whole lesson is about is being able to look at something and really draw it from what you're looking at in observation. And be able to recreate what you're seeing, but I'm gonna have to figure out how to actually draw for animation, because I'm gonna need to be a lot quicker. But if it's just like, oh hey, you know, get the shapes that you need drawn, you know. And then it's relying on to be able to draw what you need to draw so that you can line up the rest of the body to go along with what you're trying to draw. Then you can learn to get proper perspective on what you're trying to do. And here I am, knowing I need to eat, and I'm still drawing away. Get footprint in there. Yeah, it's just learning what I need to get the shapes to be where they need to be. I'm just very loosey-goosey on a lot of it. And I gotta learn how to give it a little bit more consistency to shape and form. Which has always been my problem. With everything. This is a big old bowl of soup. So I'm gonna take a good long time
If you want to experience moments of joy,
and contour draw.
excitement, and satisfaction, visit the Honda Summer Spectacular event, where
Hard on the
well-qualified
pill
buyers
bottle.
can get 1.9% APR on the 2018 Honda CR-V LX. Part of
I'm starting to realize that
2018 Best
a lot of it is just draw, draw. Don't worry about getting the lines down. Just draw, draw. Okay. Now that you got an idea, draw it again. Draw, keep drawing, keep drawing. Go.
See dealer for finance and details based on 2018 branded materials.
Push it, push it.
KBB.com for information.
Hello, sunshine. Now the summer break's here, why not give the ads some time off with 60 days of premium free? Play what you want whenever
'Cause as you
want,
draw,
all summer long. Hit the
You'll
banner
find the
and get
lines
60
on
days
it
of
that you
premium
actually
for
like.
free.
And you need to get a lot more drawings in before you actually start to be able to tell what you're doing wrong from the beginning. I think I'm going to do a lot more reading. And this stream might not... Well, if I can get this pill done, I can move on to the walk cycle. So... Which, that is a whole different mindset of skills. All right. Now that dog is fed, oh, excuse me. stop looking at the object. Alright, so I'm staring at my drawing again. I need to stare at the object. See, I would have never noticed the slight curvature on this as it sort of. No, what am I seeing? I see this line up perfectly with that, get that nice ridge there. This flows up and off of it. No, it's a perfect sphere. See, that's what happens when you stare at your drawing and not at the object. Okay, I see the downfall of that. Okay. This is gonna get some line variance. am like in depth in this now. I'm just. Oh, I gotta break the bad habit. I'm staring at the fucking thing. Oh boy.
Hear that? It's the sound of rewards points adding up.
Because every dollar spent using the ESL Rewards Visa Signature credit card earns you 1 point to accumulate and redeem for cashback, gift cards, or travel. Spend $1,000 in the first 90 days and earn 10,000 bonus points. Make the ESL Rewards card your go-to for everyday purchases, balance transfers too, and enjoy the added perks and savings. Apply online at esl.org/visa. Membership subject to eligibility. ESL is an equal opportunity lender.
I'm Jim Cook, brewer of Sam Adams. You want a smooth, crisp beer that's not industrial, boring, and bland? Sam 76. It's tasty and crushable. In a can, because only a dumbass would try to crush a bottle. Boston Beer Company, Boston, Mass. Save the flavor responsibly.
So, I think we're done with the lectures today because I basically understand what's going on here. And I'm actually going to switch over to something completely different. Because while I'm here, I'm going to fix something that needs to be fixed. That is so that wait, is it just this layer? Oh, it's just this layer. Okay. So wait. Is that layer plus this layer? Okay. So this layer. And then take this layer. Turn off this layer for a moment. I need a color margin. Very small amount. Okay. And then I need to control T. Need to control T. And then bring this into the correct position. There we go. And then take this. Yeah, Azzy made an oopsie yesterday with this badge because I put some colors, oh boy, in the wrong place. So I just gotta. Yeah, that looks a lot better too. And clean this up. Okay. Oh, yeah, no, that... I am a bit stupid. There we go. Alright. So I actually think that's going to be it for that, but we're going to crack open Maya here. Oh, yeah, Maya's loading up. Going to crack open Maya. That's great. But I need to... Switch that over to that. Oh, I had the display capture on the whole time, didn't I? Welp! That's gonna be fun. Shit. That's not good. Oh, I need to make sure I didn't show anything too bad. Okay. Alright. Alright. So, I think I'm going to end the stream for now because this was a short situation. Turn off the YouTube and then I'll continue streaming to Picardo. So, thank you everyone.